feel like this is the right life, and I'm on it now. I was a bit off track for a while, here and there, not exactly knowing who I was. Now I think I know.
I've always known things about myself. I've just chosen to not recognize them and act on them. Like, I've always been aware of my faults. I didn't crave to want to feel great because I haven't felt the way I've been feeling recently and feel now in a very long time. Like, I feel whole again.
It's always wormholes.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us on this fine Wednesday afternoon as we discuss time dilation in deserts. As we are gathered here for some City of Caelumvale, a wonderful early game of D&D, where we have our great cast of characters. Yeah, it's a great cast of characters. What do you... Stop it, John. You guys are awesome. What are you talking about? Yeah, so in the City of Caelumvale, we have Bomber, Cricket, Hesha, Ophelia, and Ash. All low-level members of a wonderful thieves guild in the City of Caelumvale, and they had been sent out of that city to meet up with a higher-ranking official and help escort his latest score back to town. But along with that, they were given a missive to deliver to him, which, upon receiving, he realized that someone had acquired something the Thieves Guild had a very heavy interest in, and it fell to the party to acquire it by any means necessary. In doing so, the people who had come across it in the first place were they were given a nice dirt nap. A nice warm dirt nap. But, and they had to deal with some attacks by feral Grothics, and in their day's travel, they also encountered some wild font, dangerous growths that spread haphazardly throughout the besieged cliffs, wild font masses of uncontrollable viral life that range in size from just the size of an average band to, in some cases, the size of a forest. These weird creatures, not quite plant, animal, or fungus, well, more appropriately, all three of them, were quite interested and actually successful in taking the cattle that they were supposed to be escorting to the city, along with the precious crystal cargo hidden underneath their fur, pulled into the earth itself and lost to the party. And so, from 6 crystals and 6 cows, they are now down to 5. Hopefully they can get the rest of their convoy into town safely. But, unfortunately, it seems like someone else has now called upon their attention after they continue their travels east, back towards the city, making their way through a fork on the road and a sort of path through the forest. They heard a horn from overhead, and it looked like about a medium-sized air skiff floated over the trees, clipping a few branches as it passed, and landed in the middle of the path in front of them. The skiff, heavily armored with thick oak planks, settled heavily on the path, and on board seemed to be some armored men who had bows and swords. And that is where we left off last week with the City of Caelumvale. Now, how this situation will pan out for them, well, let's find out.
As the magic mirror ripples with water, go into real time.
Wait, we're not just rolling initiative? Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Hello there!
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, can we help you?
Why you parking in the middle of the road? We're walking here.
The warrior at the helm at the back of the airship approaches and comes over to the edge, only about 5 feet off the ground. Nice meat. If we wanted, we could strafe the lot of you from the air until no one was left and take the lot. But I'm feeling lazy today. I'll make you a deal. We'll be taking 2 cows without a fight, or all of them with a fight. Your choice.
How about the third option, where we keep the cows, you go away?
That's
The
not going
fourth
to work out
option,
for
you
you.
give us 2 cows, and then we keep all of our cows.
I don't think they have any cows on their boat.
Well, they got nothing to offer us then. Get the fuck out of the way. We got stuff to do.
More meat for us then. And you see the man just kind of like twirl his hands in the air, and you can hear what sounds like, you can hear and see the ship in front of you begin to start to move as you hear this. And it seems like the ship starts to take off from the ground, but then it seems to give out with a catastrophic sputter, and energy seems to like leak out of the bottom of it as it slams back down onto the ground. Ah, fuck. Alright, just kill him on the ground. And let's roll initiative.
Wonderful.
Performance issues happen to every man.
Boo! Man, first roll of the day. Come on, John. Boo. Ooh,
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Oh, fuck tits.
you're right.
Hey.
No, it's because of that shit.
It's okay, it works to your advantage. Now, they'll have to come to you, and you don't have to do anything.
I have 2
Roll
character
back.
sheets and I don't. Fuck, I need to update both of them. Shit. Why did I do this to myself?
Still level 1.
Why couldn't I just be a normal dragon boy? Why did I need an alter ego?
I wasn't always like this. I was gold once.
And then I
found
painted
it.
myself red.
I used to be an
I'll
adventurer.
never be the same. Listen till I get some water on me.
Everything changed.
Alright, I fixed it. Da. All is good.
Right. Seems like these bandits in their beaten down air skiff are ready for a fight, but a few of you are too quick on the draw. Cricket, you're up first.
Okay, so this thing's like 5 feet. Is it on the ground?
Yeah, it is slammed back onto the ground. It's only 5 feet up.
Oh, you piece of shit. And I'm just running past these guys. Finding my steps a little quicker than usual. Maybe it's just the adrenaline. I'm just angry. Maybe my body's still sort of jolting from that electrical torture I experienced just the other night. But Cricket seems a little faster than usual as he goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Makes about here. He's going to try and pull himself up over here. Try to get up here if I can.
Yep.
All right, seeing this guy, and he's just going to start swinging his fists. This guy who's holding a bow. Any sort of armor he's wearing? What's he got going on with him?
He seems to be wearing, looks like some thin leather armor of some sort.
Oh, yeah. You cow not having motherfucker. I start punching him.
Yeah, fuck them up.
Yeah, that'll definitely connect.
Bam!
You sock him right in the jaw, and you can see his lip just slits right open, blood splurting out. Oh, good.
And after the first strike, Cricket, still sort of angry, you can see sort of running along his body, strange sight, like it's almost like a spark, a discharge of electricity just sort of palpitating over his body. He shakes for a minute, and then he starts moving faster as he throws 2 more punches out, as he's going to use a little bit of martial arts. His little key powers, doing a flurry of blows. Bam! Nope.
This is a sort of weird surge of speed, kind of catching you off guard, and it kind of throws your punch a little off, just enough that he manages to get out of the way of it. But in doing that, your second definitely connects.
Oh yeah! It's catching me this side.
Oof. As your third and final blow connects with this side, you can sort of feel almost like, not something necessarily snap, but you can just feel his bones and like lower cartilage just kind of move in at the force of your blow. He does not look like
I'm
he's in a
gonna
good
break
way.
you like this whole thing broke down. Is it broken? I think it's broken. And that's my turn.
Alright. You see Cricket just zoom ahead of you and get on board and just start wailing on the guy who is ordering you all to give over some of the cattle. Hesha, what do you do?
I knew the outside would offer more excitement. Could not leave it just at this, as I'm just slowly backing up into the brush over here as I pull out my heavy crossbow, as the bolt's already laid within starts to glow as I pull back the string. Very well done, Cricket, as I line up my shot and fire at the dude he's getting into a tussle with. 13.
13 will connect. He seems to be preoccupied with Cricket. His back is open. He's not looking towards you.
I just chunk him in the back of the neck. 10 damage.
Ooh, bye, Felicia.
Just right into the neck. He whirls around to look at Cricket. And Cricket, you just see an arrow or a bolt point just stick out the front of his neck. A wonderful way to start the day. As I'm just going to meander my way up behind this tree trunk over here. I'm assuming there's a tree trunk.
Yeah.
So I'll just scratch my back up against it like a bear and just start to pull out another bolt.
Feeling, you see one of these men have already been taken out. Everyone seems to be moving into position and taking their shots or taking their punches. What are you going to do?
So I'm going to point at the guy that seems to be the captain and say, see, you should just walk away because we are fierce.
I thought the captain died.
Oh, well.
I thought the captain was that archer that got his shit blown in.
See, that just makes it more awkward. See, it's just better that way. So,
Okay.
Yeah, like as you say that, he kind of just wheels around, and you can see the fucking crossbow bolt sticking out of his neck, and he just collapses over the side and hangs over the side of his head, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, you should listen to her.
Fierce.
Buddy? Oh,
Fierce.
shit.
Like, right when you say fierce, he just turns around and falls over and just is dead.
But I will... Sacred Flame, I don't know if you guys... Because roll 20 is breaking for some fucking reason, and I'll just shoot the closest mercenary warrior. The Sacred Flame.
Alright, I guess technically speaking, he'd be the closest. Your Sacred Flame goes coursing out. Let's see if he can duck away from it in time.
Get him.
He does not, as the what does your Sacred Flame look like again? That's not the shield.
That's the shield. It's the flaming shield, and I just kind of spin it and toss like a flaming disc at them.
As the flaming disc just strikes true, cutting up against what looks like some thin leather armor with maybe like some epaulets of metal inside of it, but it does not stand a chance against your holy light, as he takes 7 radiant damage.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, oh it burns! As the archers, taken aback by the sudden appearance of this small green man, quickly try to knock their short bows and loose at you.
Oh, I roll a defense roll. Let's see.
Shoot DC 25 with the first shot, and DC 25 again with the second.
Nope.
Need more of your monk powers.
Almost. We're getting there. Like the first one I defended against properly, right? Because I matched it. Is that how it works with defense rolls? Do I have to beat it?
I think you match it. You said
Okay.
DC, you, if you match, you save.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, yeah. The first one that comes flying, but I've taken so many hits already. I'm so tough. My senses are just sharp, and these electrical discharges crawling along my body. I'm able to dodge the first arrow, and I'm so shocked and surprised that I did that. The second one, got me. Cricket's hit.
For 3 damage.
Ugh.
Cricket's dead.
I'm also a little tougher now. I've basically doubled my health from last level.
Oh, Cricket.
I got it.
Warrior that has been seared across the chest leaps over angrily, drawing. God damn it! I'm hitting spacebar. Drawing his long sword and charging at the fair woman that threw the energy at him, lashing out with his long sword. DC 25.
Oof.
Trying to cut down at your clavicle, at your neck. How do you defend yourself?
Just do a little twirl and just bash it away with my shield.
Get back here! As the other mercenary warrior sprints across. Captain out of the way, trying to get at Cricket. Coming at you with his long sword, DC 25.
Come on, big boy. Oof.
Aiming right at your gut just with a deep thrust. As you take 6.
Oh, deep thrust.
Yep.
I'm only dead. Taking how much?
6 damage.
Oh boy. Oof. Heavy damage. Okay, maybe I'm not as fast as I thought I was.
Ash, you can see that one of these men is already dead. The other 3 seem to be focusing their efforts on Cricket, and one, though weakened, is still able to hold a sword and is coming after Ophelia. What do you do?
Did I roll 20 break? Oh, yeah, I can. Yep. And
This session brought to you by Roll20.
this session is brought to you by Roll20.
It's okay,
Please.
but it works.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we should
there
switch
it is.
to
Page on
fantasy
response. Thank. Alright.
Fuck that shit. That costs money.
Alright. Can I actually do anything? Nope, I can't. Okay, I'll just rush that.
I'm hearing whoops.
And oops. I guess people just talking.
Oh, that's weird. I just realized.
Oh, they were delayed. Weird.
The green rings around these guys are hiding behind the airship.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Interesting.
The rings on there are a lower level than the rings. Hey, there we go.
Okay, can you like move my token? I'm still looking at the map because it hasn't literally refreshed. Can you move my token back behind red, and then one more space behind red, and then one more space behind red, and then false life?
All right.
Lifing.
Just yeah, false lifing. As the mist that seems to coalesce around my body, similar fashion, seeming to protect me, seems to intensify and strengthen, becoming more opaque. Although somewhat, I don't want to say demonic, but
There's an
something
obvious
fiendish
darkness
about
to
it. Yep, something pretty occult and dark about it. One could almost say fiendish.
And then false life gives you how much?
1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points.
1d4 plus 4. You gain 7 temporary hit points, which I'm going to put in your red bubble.
Woo!
It's in your red bubble now.
It's like a 30 hit points.
Yeah, now it's like I have 22.
As Ash conjures forth magic to reinforce his own vitality, preparing for a longer fight. Red, you see an opening. What do you do?
I run and jump.
With
As I
a
laugh
quick and strong leap, you land aboard the airship with a deafening thud. The two archers
as I
cowering.
jump, you just hear. all the way through the air as I begin to rage. And I swing down on that fucker. And can't roll above a D10 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to City of Caelumvale. Where your rolls are shit.
Maybe your laugh gave just enough of a warning, as it seems like your axe strikes true, but just glances off of the leather. It'll protect them for now, but will it protect them on your next turn? Let's find out.
On the next turn.
On the next
Caelumvale.
Caelumvale.
Cricket. You can see Red has leapt aboard the airship. He seems to keep the archers distracted for now. What will you do?
Hey, big guy, they're weak to arrows in the neck. Try doing something with that. And I just turn to this guy, sort of shrugging off the sword blow on my body. It should be down on my back right now. I've taken enough hits to know that old Cricket should be out for the count, but I'm still standing, so I'll just keep rolling with it as I'm getting so excited to fight. Some of that electricity starts to spark and course over my body, making me move a little faster as I just start unloading punches into this guy. Nope. Ooh, finally above a D10!
Easy.
Your
as I
first
just
strike
fucking
strikes through, and you can feel like the leather almost sort of crack and just sort of give way, and then you follow it up almost immediately with a second strike to the same exact point, and your punch just seems to almost blacken the leather as you're just focusing all of your energy into it. Let me get that damage roll.
Just made of glass, yes. And I force a little bit more electricity courses over my arm, and I just throw my shoulder into the rest of the punch. As I'm going to throw a little Fury of the Small into it. That should be a +2. And then I'm just gonna with
massive damage.
With my fist still sort of buried in him, I'm gonna reel back the other one. And I'm just gonna try and throw it up at his face. Yeah.
Yeah, he sort of bowls over from the second blow, just so much force, a little bit of blood just sort of coughs out of his mouth, and with his head down, you have the perfect strike for an uppercut, and you connect soundly. How do you want to do this?
I just reel back my tiny fist, and using my tiny feet, which use my namesake of Cricket to get a good jump in, and I just plow my fist, my knuckles straight into his jaw, just trying to break every bone in my path.
You sure you can, this mercenary, to do that?
Sure you can. And then I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to come over here, letting that guy fall to the ground, and I'm just gonna start accosting this guy. That's my turn.
These archers surrounded. Hesha, your cover seems to be working quite soundly for you. What do you want to do?
Well, isn't this just amusing? As I'm just gonna lean my crossbow up against the tree, take out my nice dagger with the strange magical etchings on it, it's gonna be stricken. As it starts to glow ever so softly again, that strange smokish purplish energy, as I turn out of the tree and say, "Oh, young lad, let's have some fun," as I'm just going to charge into him, leap, and just try to jab this thing into his neck.
Catching him off guard. Let me get that attack.
Oh, that's 5.
Perhaps he was focused on Ophelia, and then as you sort of call out to him, he seems to ready his longsword in front of himself in a defensive stance, guarding against both you and Hesha. There seems to be some training there, as your strike would have struck true had he not raised his sword in time, clashing blades against each other. You'll have to figure out something else.
Wonderfully done.
But perhaps now there's an opening for Ophelia to strike.
Let us dance.
Ophelia grabs her mace and then raises her shield up in front of her. She kind of charges forward, her shield in his face before switching out with the mace. And yeah.
Ooh. Nice.
Seems to be focused in on the hobgoblin, and the mace comes out of nowhere. How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to uppercut him with the mace, kind of just break his jaw, just kind of push it into his skull.
His head goes from looking relatively normal to looking like somebody, well, smashed it with a mace.
Ophelia, isn't this fun?
What? No, we're killing people. This isn't fun.
Yeah!
But you're doing it so well.
The archers, in their panic, throw down their bows and draw their short swords, trying to focus their efforts on the scary, terrifying, laughing-looking man in front of them, as both of them will swing out with their short swords once, DC 25. Ooh. The one on the left managing to catch you in the side, dealing... Ooh, it's a deep hit, 7 damage.
3 damage.
But you're able to shrug it off. Or laugh it off, rather. The mercenary warriors all fallen. Ash, it comes back to you. 2 archers locked in combat with your allies. You safely positioned away. Magic at your call. What will you do?
Conjure that same darkish purplish magic circle on my hand and give him a little Eldritch Blast.
Ooh.
Sigil conjured forth on your palm. Blast. Leaping forward from you targeting.
The one directly in front of me.
Alright, that'll definitely hit. Let me get that damage.
3 force damage.
Trying to compensate, making sure you don't hit Red in the back. You do manage to singe up against his armor and damage his shoulder quite significantly, actually. He takes 3 force damage. You can see him just kind of reel back from the hit and try to move back and try to hide behind Red and keep jabbing out with his short sword. Red, you see the beam of energy course over your shoulder and potentially give you an opening on the man to your right. What do you do?
Well, I take the opening.
Yeah.
That will connect. How do you want to do this?
Uppercut with the battle axe.
All right.
Just like between the legs. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I got swords. I'm just gonna slash him across the face.
Oof. He's reeling back from the shoulder hit. You see the opening, and you just cut his face wide open. From jaw to the top of his skull, it just splits, and he falls over dead.
As I turn and maniacally laugh at the one in front of me.
See how feel? Our Red is getting into it.
I mean, but Bauer is just disturbed individual.
I do not deny this.
Let's go ahead and deal you a card of inspiration.
Oh, yay!
You gain 1 bit of heroic inspiration.
Nice.
A little bit.
You can feel your laughter, your bloodlust, and the slaying of this man almost seems to paralyze the man in front of you in fear. As Cricket, this man seems to be solely locked on whatever is happening in front of him. Your first strike will be with advantage.
Oh. So he just looks like scared and almost defenseless?
Yep.
A scared, defenseless man standing in front of me? Cheap shot! Bah! Just swing my punch right at the face.
Connects.
And follow up! Bah! Just like, I guess, am I standing above him? Kind of? Like I'm on a set of steps or something?
Like a little short stairwell, yeah.
One sec, I completely unplugged my headphones. Was that?
Yeah, so like the top of your head is like lined up with his shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna reel back my fist or my foot and just try to kick him right in the side. And nope.
10 will not connect. Your first blow connects solidly, and he almost seems to sort of snap out of like whatever terror Red is inflicting on him. He now has his short sword and is ready for you.
That's what you get for stopping us in the road. We got stuff to do, buddy. That's my thing.
As Hesha, you can see Red and Cricket dealing with the last bandit, I guess. What do you do?
Ophelia, do you want to see something amazing?
I I feel like your concept of amazing and my concept of amazing are two different concepts of amazing.
Oh no. Ta-ta. As from my feet, a strange smoke, that light pink, purple, starts to swirl up around my body, as it also starts to swirl up around the side of this man, as it seems like the two clouds of smoke disappear at the same time, except wash out over this man as I seem to reappear next to him as I cast some Dust Wall.
Oh. Yeah.
18 to hit. Amazing. As this purplish smoke appears, as I just it into his face, and it seems to just swirl up into his nose, into his eyes, dealing 7 psychic damage.
You can see him sort of like look at the strange cloud of mist start to appear, and as you just seem to stride out of it and toss the mist into his face, you can see his face just go wide with horror, and you can see all of the veins and arteries around his face just start to turn this sickly blue and then purple black all over his face as his eyes just seem to lose all sense of color, and he dies.
Oh, that worked magnificently. Very well done, everyone. There's no one else hiding around here, is there? Hello? So I just like stomp down on the deck of this thing.
We're not the kind of people. No, wait. Now, have initiative, are we? Yes, not yet.
I mean, talking is a free action.
I moved my person. Okay, hang on. Okay, over here.
Oh.
They're not the type of people to hide. They have extra forces. They would have flaunted it, Hesha.
Well, that is a shame. But, oh well. I'll start looking down the people at my feet.
Yeah. They seem to be just sort of scraggly. They have like, unkempt facial hair and just like sort of messy hair. It looks like, their blades are nothing to write home about. They don't look particularly impressive or anyway. And they don't have any sort of sigils or markings on them either. If you want to get some more information, give me an investigation check.
Yeah. Yeah, if we're out of initiative, I will totally lean down and start picking through these guys' pockets, see if I can find anything.
I'm gonna run under, below decks before my rage drops. If there's anything under there, I'll swing at it.
Let us see what little secrets you are hiding away, shall we?
Yeah, there doesn't really seem to be so much just a below decks as almost like a I might use this incorrectly, almost like sort of like a root cellar. It's like a single trap door, and then looking down into it, you can tell this is supposed to be some sort of storage, but it looks to be pretty barren, and there's no one inside. You can see just sort of glowing softly what looks like a yellow chunk of crystal, but it seems to be just letting out these sort of sparks in every direction. And then your investigation of them, Hesha, it seems like they might have a couple trinkets on them that might have some personal value to them, but nothing that seems to strike out as being actually worth anything. Yeah, no real money or possessions of value.
Well, wonder who you stole this all from. Quite impressive. Bomber, I'm assuming there's a problem down there, yes? The reason why this thing did not take to these guys.
It looks a little messed up.
Oh yeah, we saw from the bottom that the hull blew up. Something probably went wrong with the main stone, or whatever you call that powers the ship.
Well, if you would not mind, let me take a look. Although I do not have my tools on me.
Is there a big wheel on this ship?
What was that?
So is there a big wheel on this ship? Like a steering wheel? Cricket would probably just be playing with that for a little bit. A big old wheel, just turning it.
Yeah, you find it kind of hard to turn. Like it seems to be resisting you, or like not wanting to cooperate. It only seems to want to turn in like one direction. It always seems like when you let go of it, always just seems to like reset in the other direction. It doesn't. It's I'm just playing with it.
I sift through the captain's belongings, try to find gold coin.
Yep. Start searching the bodies as well. I'm gonna hop down even and check out this guy.
And I'm gonna scoop myself down into the weird little root cellar and have a look at the crystal, or what's left of it after it blew up.
Yeah, looking through the bodies, you don't really find anything. They seem to have, maybe like some notes from other people that just seem to be talking about like, we're talking like grocery list level of detail, but nothing that seems to be like this seems important or anything like that. No real gold or money on them. Each one of them seems to be kind of scraggly and like not malnourished, but just there's definitely some room in the armor for each of them. Maybe they're just not fitted. Maybe they stole the armor and it doesn't fit them, but it doesn't seem like they've been living in a lap of luxury or anything like that. And you do not find a guild coin on any of them.
Oh my god, like you're filled with injuries. Hold on, give me one moment as I put the back of my hand on Cricket's forehead and just white glow just starts emitting from my hand as I give him a caroo.
What are you doing? Oh, hold on a second. Oh, that kind of feels good.
Okay, I'm not doing that for Cricket anymore.
Getting all wiggly.
Oh, warm and cool at the same time.
More.
The ice wheel's broken.
You actually get 10. I forgot to add my cleric thing to this.
Oh, now you like warmer. It felt really good. How'd you do that?
I told you, I'm a cleric.
Alright.
Hello there, Vol.
I think Hesha's going at the same time.
Yeah, as you're looking down into the root cellar of this place, and you can see what seems to be the primary receptacle for the shard that was powering this contraption. You can see that the shard seems to have shattered, and there are just pieces of crystal stuck into the wood all around it, and just sparks coming off of them and off of what remains of the shard inside of the core component, which seems to, just looking at it, your experience with constructing, artificing essentially, you can tell this thing has been worked on haphazardly and is a complete fucking mess. And just looking at it, you can see the fact that it's still discharging energy doesn't potentially bode well, but you can give me a artificer's tools check or artificing check or etc related skills check using intelligence.
Oh yeah, got that tinker's tool.
Yeah, that one.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah,
that expertise level 2.
Nicely done. Taking a look at this with, it's not really well lit. There seems to be a couple holes letting in some sunlight, but you have dark vision. Just looking at it in shades of gray, you can take in a great deal of detail, and you realize there is still energy built up in this contraption, and it has nowhere to go. And those sparks are attempts to discharge. And then looking around on the back side of it, you can see every indicator that would normally be in a sort of area that seems to be marked off in green seems to be edging closer and closer to red on every single dial. You can tell that this is not going to be safe for much longer.
How well is it attached to just like the wood that it's on?
The contraption itself?
Yeah.
It seems to be riveted into the floor like most things like this. That seems to be, relatively speaking, the only thing that hasn't had been fucked with. Everything else seems to have been swapped out with mismatched parts and salvaged things. It looks derelict, but it also looks like there's a large amount of energy that's about to be discharged from it pretty quickly.
Yep. So I'm going to step farther away since it's getting closer to me.
You don't know shit.
Yeah, I don't care. I just think it's funny that he said it's getting closer to red.
You know that. Go.
It looks like
Well,
that is a shame. Well, I bid you adieu, my beautiful little toy, as I'll take my little pouch that I've got, because I bought an extra pouch for random reason, as I'm just going to scoop some shards up into the pouch, close it up, poke my head up. Everyone, I think we should make our exit. I do not think our little ship here is going to be around much longer. So I'll pull myself up out of the hole.
Yeah, the steering wheel's broken. I think it's a Ghana.
Alright.
That's my ticket check.
So I'll hop off side of the rail and head towards
Boy, what happened here?
just a couple of highwaymen. You know, didn't know what they were getting into.
We kicked their ass.
Well, I can see that. They seem to be a right proper mess.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the collars of these two dudes, walk over and just chuck them over the side, and then hop down myself.
Just a couple of vagrants, no guild coins. They're not sent from anyone from Caelumvale.
No, not driving something like that, they weren't.
That's for damn sure. Alright. If Hesh's thing is correct, then the path should be clear in a bit.
Oh, indeed. And it will be cleared quite spectacularly.
Yes.
I'm just going to sit down on this rock, turn around, and just start to look at it.
What do you mean by that, Hesha?
Well, you will see. Also, crickets may be a little bit too close for comfort. Oh, cricket!
I'm just looking through this captain's stuff, seeing if there's anything like shiny on him, really.
Coins? No. I just saw that looks like shit.
As Ash just looks at Cricket just staying on there and just takes a sip of his water flask.
Cricket, do you remember that pole in the tree from a couple days ago?
What, the one we left back? Why?
Do you know how the tree was lit into fire?
Yeah, when you blew it up.
I'm about to do the same. But you find yourself in a not very auspicious position once again, Cricket.
Oh, I see how it is. You're always trying to blow up Cricket. And he jumps down and sort of slides down one of these little sails and hops on the ground. I see how it is. Everyone wants to kill Cricket. Nah, it's okay.
On 3.
Shit.
You can see just like from the bottom of this thing connecting out to the ground, just bolts of, it looks like yellow electricity or lightning just seem to sort of zap their way through the wood trying to find a place to go. And as that just keeps happening, this buildup of electricity overwhelms the entire thing and it just goes up in flames.
How beautiful. I'm just basking in the heat of it.
Well, that should take care of the bodies too. Except that one. To that. Probably prop it against the tree. Have a sword in his hand.
Master Wu, you must ask us to do more of this. This has been a wonderful week.
Hopefully
Yeah, we should be pretty close.
a few more days. Well, we should be seeing the walls and gates. Yeah, not too soon. We're getting closer to the Plummet River.
Alright.
Was I able to scrape any shards into my pouch?
Yeah, a few of them. The larger ones, as you touch them, were quite painful to the touch, but some of the smaller ones kind of felt about as tingly as licking like a 9-volt battery. And you were able to tolerate that long enough to scoop them up and put them into a little bag, which, you know, what's the bag made out of?
Yeah, it's just like hide.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, as you continue on the road from here going once this sort of burns and gets out of the way, going up this way. The rest of the convoy coming up shortly after Vul. You can sort of feel if that bag is on your person anywhere. It seems to be relatively warm, but it doesn't seem to be in danger of bursting into flames. It just kind of feels like almost like a hand warmer.
I'll just be holding it like, huh.
Yeah.
The miracles of life.
As you can add 3 ruined shards to your inventory if you would like.
3 small ruined shards. Nice. Well, shall we be on our way? Although I do love basking in the firelight, it is a bit early for such things.
No, let's get going. Faster
Don't we have to wait until the fire goes out, though? I don't think you can walk through fire, Hesha.
You can walk around.
Well, Bomber's one of them, like, fire boys. He can put out fire.
It looks like there'd be enough clearance to get around it.
So I'd be able to find a dagger when I was rifling through their shit.
A dagger like the one you were already using?
Just any manageable dagger. I ain't picky.
There are a few small knives, but nothing that seems like it would line up with what it is you're looking for.
Okay.
Alright, heading on to the road from here.
I mean, honestly, those guys were they didn't know how to steal things. Asking for cows and not really knowing how to trade, and then they pull out weapons, and then they don't know who they're talking to, and then look, it's just fire now. Really just a bad situation for them.
They were also apparently terrible mechanics. Such a beautiful thing gone to waste because of shoddy workmanship.
What can you do?
Do better, really. That's all you can do. Just don't do bad.
Yes.
Just don't do bad.
Just don't do bad.
This is a lesson to us all. When we are out burgling and stealing from people, we should make sure to be able to kill them before we do such a thing.
It is the easiest way, I
plays in
suppose.
the first rule of thieving. At least the one that they always told me when I first joined.
What rule is that? There's rules in this?
The thief who learns to run away lives to steal another day.
Oh, I like that rule.
I do too. It's quite elegant.
I'm really good at running away. Does that mean I'm a good thief?
The best thief.
I'm the best.
Pushing on from there, you're able to relatively recall, at least those of you with a mind for travel and sort of having a sense of direction, and if not, we'll mention that you're about 2.5 days out from the storm walls and being back to the city, and so it seems like most of that travel passes relatively uneventfully, but if there's anything that you want to discuss at camp or anything like that with any of your travel companions or amongst yourselves, please let me know.
So,
I'll ask. So.
No, Ash. I speak my mind well enough. Go.
I'll ask Bomber if I can see the bull during one of the rests.
I have the bow.
Yeah, you do have the bull.
Well, we're supposed to go to the toughest member of the group, but I think they decided to give it to you.
Well, I mean, usually
I just want to look over it during my watch. I'll give it back to you in the morning.
Here you go.
Cricket,
Thanks.
go ahead and get yourself some DM inspiration.
Yeah.
All right. And that same day, after resting a bit, after recuperating and getting, I suppose, the fruits of my labor, I'll re-look at ant language. I forgot what his race is called, poor shepherd. Or whatever the shepherd race is.
Skull.
Yeah, they're ants. No, they're ants.
No, I mean, he was like the ants, so did the ant race.
Scroll.
Or... Skull. Alright, looking over the skull language, and then...
Skull like Vikings.
Yeah. During one of my watches, just review the language again, and looking at the writing, looking at the script, seeing how foreign it is, and then seeing it warp almost to a more common language. So I reap the benefits that the archive has given me. So I try to reread the writing on the bowl. Write it all down.
I'd be watching him carefully when he's doing that sinful act.
Oh, yeah. During one of my watches. Do we have a watch together?
Sinful act.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the
Get
first
to see me
night
being
right now,
boring.
So you can...
Oh, it's first night?
Whatever watches you would be on, first, second, third, fourth.
Yeah, you get to see me be boring with my book, writing down stuff in an alien language.
There you go.
Yeah, most of the bowl seems to be coated in like this thick brown gunk on it. Looking on the exterior, there seems to be lines and lines of writing that seem to be referring to a host of pronouns. It looks like maybe names or places. These locations or these words don't seem to have much meaning to you, but you can read them in terms of the ones that seem maybe the does it actually give you like an understanding of the language? You can read all writing. I guess
I can read all writing.
Is being able to understand it. So by the rules of grammar for Skull, it seems to be referring to these locations or concepts, but they don't have meaning to you. It'd be like reading, George Washington and just not knowing who that is at all.
Yes, pineapples. Because I know what that fruit is. Yes, pineapples. Yeah, interesting. Well, guess I'll close my eyes and grab the little cross on my, on my neck, or I guess on my body. As my necklace, as I'll head into the archive.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I get to use my ability for once. So I'll close my eyes and send my consciousness up there.
I'm still watching him.
No, I mean, I guess no time would pass, so I guess I close my eyes and open them again once I get back. But
yeah, I want to see that transition.
Just a nice little blink. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, as I'll head into the archive and greet the book of all-knowing index.
All right, heading into that place.
Is there a map?
Oh. I don't want to miss the RP, but I also really need to pee.
Oh yeah, and the other thing, there you go. It's my fiendish-looking false life. Also that.
Sounds like Brendan needs to invest in some wireless headphones.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you do need some wireless headphones.
I do, yeah.
It's for your health.
To your pain.
I was gifted these super expensive headphones, and I feel like I have to use them now.
Oh.
Heading into the archive, you feel yourself, you feel your eyes close, the campfire light flickering against you. You can feel the sort of quizzical and half confused look of Cricket kind of just watching you and just like as he chews on some nondescript rabbit, perhaps, or something that
It's
was...
a bone. Still have a piece of duck bone. I'm just gnawing the rest of the marrow and cartilage off of.
Yeah, you just hear the soft sort of crack and then you don't. As you feel yourself sort of just almost leave your own body, a projection into a place very different from this one, as you are taken very, very, very far away. Let me see here. You are not in the NPC folder, you're in the character folder, because you're a character.
I am a character. I am a player character.
A section of the archive open to you, one that you know is only one of many. It is one that you are able to get into as you are brought to a place you have been before. Let me see here. Can I actually drag you all the way over here smoothly? Alright, close your eyes.
Alright, I closing them.
Good. Good job. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for closing your eyes.
Thank you. Alright, tell me when to open them.
You should be at the bottom here. Just your lone token.
I am. Darkness envelops me.
Absolute horror.
Indeed, as you enter this place, a sort of soft red ephemeral light seems to conjure itself into existence around you.
Do I have my belongings on me? I guess that's sort of like a linchpin question. Or am I just naked? Am I butt ass naked? No clothing?
Naked and reading books.
You seem to project yourself into this place with it almost seems like a representation of your objects and things that you had on you when you passed into this place. All of them seeming to have a sort of stillness to them, as you can manipulate them and open up a book and turn the pages, but every page seems to almost hang as though there was no other forces acting on it. You could leave one standing straight up and it would not fall. There is gravity here. You're not floating through the air, but everything seems to have a sort of disconnected feel to it.
Alright. Several steps forward.
And stepping
Place
forward,
I know.
you can look down and see it's still sort of frightening and startling. It just seems like the emptiness of the void, just soft twinkling lights off in the distance and nothing else. Blackness. The stars of the night sky. Stepping here, the red light that seems to be floating over your shoulder seems to glow much brighter now.
Yeah, as I'm sort of passing over the void, just whispering to myself, stars without number, world without end. So, which bookcase am I allowed to go through? Or which doors? The front ones? Left or right?
The only doors that have opened to you previously are the ones in front of you.
Alright.
Top of the stairs.
Towards front doors. Well, the UI here map. Exactly. Stars without number. Worlds without end.
Dynamic lighting. Grab. Move. Wait, you know what? I can do this. Haha! Arrow keys.
Boom.
So I throw open the doors and I greeted place I know.
Indeed, looking forward, you can see just this massive chunk. It looks like of maybe jade or some sort of green mineral substance that is just a huge cylinder that goes up onto the next level. And you know that is where the tome lays. It's at the top of that. Each one of these like
Pathfinding.
desks, connect to shelves underneath them that seem to rise up out of the ground at your command, allowing you to go through tomes upon tomes of reference material.
Over to the stairs. I'm sure it's silent, just the click-clack of my boots against metal or stone.
Yes. And just this sort of disconnected, almost ephemeral sound, like your mind is trying to fill the void of this place.
So I just slow my footsteps as I approach.
Yeah, this crystal seems to just rise up about a foot off of where the wood is. It's an easy, you just step up onto it. And atop a single pedestal is a very, very large, thick, black and red tome.
Yep, just close my eyes, take a deep breath, and attempt to mentally prepare myself for what I'm about to do. Alright. So, open my soul to the index and seek out, I guess, one of the names that I know, or in the book, one of the more important ones, or at least what I would think would be important.
Alright, give me charisma save, right?
Yep. Funnily enough, I don't have proficiency anymore because I'm intelligent. 15. Ooh.
Opening up the tome and just seeing the pages before you, you can feel your mind almost sort of slip into wanting to try to consume all of this knowledge, but you know that you are here with purpose and you are looking for one specific thing, and it seems to guide your hand past untold secrets and knowledge that would consume you if you were to try to read it all and try to remember every bit and piece. Trying to get to a single name, something that seems to be significant from this artifact, from what you've read. There was one phrase that struck out to you, one bit of fragment, something that seemed to be of utmost importance on this bowl because it was repeated over and over in different lines, a reference to a trail of strength. Flipping through this and trying to find any sort of connection from that phrase to whatever this is, you're getting a lot of things that don't seem to be related at first. There's just talks of ventures and odysseys, journeys to far-off places. There seems to be lots of talk of travel, but that doesn't seem to be what the writings on this bowl is referring to. It seems to be more ritualistic, something like a process that doesn't require you to go anywhere far away or venture where no one has ventured before. It almost seems to just simply be a test, something to prove yourself worthy. It requires sacrifice, and it requires universal commitment to this trail of strength, or maybe trial of strength. This ancient skull dialect, hard to discern and very foreign to you, even with the guidance provided by your connection to the archive, and it becomes quite clear now that you have consulted it. This bowl is connected to an ancient skull ritual, the Trial of Strength, and in completing it, well, there's no record of what happens when you complete it, because no one ever did. Everyone seemed to perish at one step or another. There doesn't seem to be any record of what the following steps would be, but there is for this bowl, and it is a sacrifice of both of blood and life. It seems to be repeated over and over, and it becomes clear to you what the caked on brown substance is. It is blood, dried by the passage of time and found in some dark, dank place by those elves, who will no longer bother any of you, but have seemed to have turned up something of significance.
Does it lead me to any books for additional reading, or is that all I get?
There seems to be one connected, not tome, but almost second source or second reference. There doesn't appear to be anything else about the skull specifically, but there does seem to be mention of another phrase. Something called the Throne of Creation. But trying to figure out where that leads takes you to no other connections. And you can see underneath in this tome, every reference there would be to the Throne of Creation has a beckoning bright white page. And now that you're turned to this section of the tome, you're able to break away from it just long enough to see a glistening black inkwell and a bright red quill. And you know the archive demands knowledge for this. For this resource is empty when it comes to this subject.
God of creation. Alright. Alright. Just talking to the book itself as if, well, believing that he's talking to the archive, although probably just talking to a book. Special book, but a book. Yeah.
Give me a d20 roll.
That's an E. Oh, I lost the 50-50. Heck.
Something seems to break the eerie silence of this place. Expansive and massive, the sound reaches your ears of hard, labored breathing and what sounds like slithering.
Oh, thanks. I quickly try to get out there. Oh.
The slithering glows louder and faster as you whistle down the stairs.
And then once I get around to here, I just go full out sprint.
The clack of your boots against the stone steps, you can hear the slithering glow louder and louder as it seems to be coming almost from the back of your mind. The red glow as you step out of the door seems to be growing fainter and fainter and fainter as it seems to envelop you in darkness. You know the only warning sign besides your own ears that it's getting close.
Sort of like, pull back. Throw myself on this place. Look for the bell. Where's the bell?
You see it hanging
Alright, okay. Anything happening? Any moves you need to make?
No. Run.
Okay, otherwise I literally throw myself.
Yeah,
Like
just
full dolphin diving for the bell.
as you dolphin dive for it, you almost miss the string, but your hand just seems to smack the bell itself, and just with a single loud clang, you are whisked away.
Oh, then Cricket just sees me open my eyes. Ash seems out of breath. Just sort of like, you see him, he's like sitting in like the cross-leg position, you just see his back just rolled back, and he just drapes one arm over his eyes.
Reading hard, huh?
Yeah, pretty tired.
I get you.
Yeah, he just stays in that position for like a little bit, like for a couple of seconds. Alright. Pull out his water, take some of the water, you see it splash it on his face.
Jeez, buddy. I mean, I know it's hard, but it's not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Thank you for taking this watch with me. I appreciate it. You know, I'm tired, and having another person back me up because I'm so tired.
From all the reading, yeah, I get that.
Trust me, reading is bad, Cricket.
It is bad. I used to think it wasn't so bad when I was growing up, but you read things, you fill your head with nonsense, and you forget the real things that matter.
Exactly.
So I don't do it anymore.
Don't do the reading, Cricket. It makes you tired.
Why do you do it then?
I don't like myself. That's it.
Cricket's head starts tilting and tilting more as he tries to
Think of it as like a sort of corporeal punishment.
So you're making yourself tired because you don't like yourself.
Yes.
So just start liking yourself, dummy.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Cricket solved your problem. Just stop reading and like yourself. That's what
Thanks,
I do.
Cricket.
No problem.
So go back to reading because I hate myself apparently.
Ah, damn it. I'll fix you someday. We'll fix you.
Yeah, thanks, Cricket. I just glance up for my book and then finish scribbling in my notes. Then close the book and put the bowl away somewhere safe.
Right.
And I just spend the rest of my watch catching my breath. And learning not to hate myself and stop reading with Cricket.
I'm just confused the rest of this watch. Just trying to understand this guy. Every time I ask him a question, he gives me an answer that doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna leave the questions for later when I can think of a better one.
And assuming no one else wants to have any conversations on the first night of 2 nights before you get closer to the city, it seems to pass relatively uneventfully.
I broke some with the group in the morning, so everybody was.
Continue.
Please don't let it be the wind.
I continue working on that shirt.
What skill did I have you use last time?
I think he used Constitution. Because Weaver's tools with Con.
Yeah, because she had to stay up and use her little fingers. Those skillful fingers.
Yep.
Very skillful.
Then give me another Weaver's tools check. Okay. Oh, you know what? I can wrote it down in this. Where is it? There it is. My handy dandy notebook.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, your distinctly normal sweater. Yeah, it should take you probably about a few more days. About 2. Just keep working at it.
Oh yeah, as I give the bowl back to Mama, I'll say, "There you go, strongest member of the group."
That's correct.
Oh, I better be sleeping when he says that.
Sure. Oh, would you look at that? Bomber is literally after our watch. You're already asleep. Good job, Cricket. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
So I'll retreat to my time. Easy.
Alright. That seems to pass uneventfully otherwise. Coming into the next day.
Good morning, everyone. I have a question. I'm sure you noticed when we started out on this whole wonderful thing that's I was in a bit of a daze. What's this whole contract for again? There was payments, yes? I hope you were not promised something that I was not.
No, I think I was promised gold. I mean silver.
Looks in the sky.
Silver.
Ready to dodge fucking lightning bolts.
I love the silver, yes.
Oh my god, you made me feel bad.
Yes, I was promised silver.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't money. So there's gotta be money.
I mean, I was promised like 500 silver pieces. What were you promised?
500 silver pieces?
You weren't?
You jest.
I am assuming that is as much as I was promised as well. Wonderful.
You all jest.
Well, I should get 500 pieces. I did all the work. I got beat up.
You did get beat up.
No. It is a joke, Cricket.
Oh, don't joke about money like that.
How's you going good?
Oh, you know how to get me.
I was just curious. I could not remember. Must you think one of those crystals is where? High up on the cows.
I mean, it's definitely not worth your life.
Oh, it's probably worth a
What Bomber
lot.
said.
Although to some people, I'm sure it is. Yes, Cricket says worth much more than my life.
Like 50 gold or something.
Indeed.
Well, I always find it's better to stay alive to make some silver tomorrow than to try to make gold today and end up dead.
But don't get me wrong, Bomber. I'm not saying I want to steal them. That would not go well with my current employer, but I'm just curious. I wonder how much they have to gain out of such things.
Well, I mean, probably not as much as that bowl.
Really?
Yeah,
You think such a simple thing is worth such powerful... Well... something that they are willing to go quite miles out of their way for, and, well, needing to smuggle it in. You know something about this bowl I do not, Barman.
Well, I mean, they just kind of picked any random 5 people to go get some cows with some crystals. It was just a bit of an added bonus that they came across some mystical bowl. I'm sure that's just gravy on top. If they knew it was truly there, they probably would have sent someone a little bit more, well, you know, accurate.
True enough. Does get you excited, does it not? Such wonderful little secrets. Hold away. So interesting. I'll have to ask the guild about such things once they get their little hands on it.
Probably. Well, the Thieves Guild is obsessed with the balance of power and all that, and those elves back there were talking about how much of a pay grade they were going to get with the Bankers Guild. So I'm sure the Thieves Guild will do something about locking it away.
Indeed.
Maybe they'll use it for leverage at some point.
Certainly don't like the idea of just locking it away. Although, apparently the guild is quite fond of hiding the more interesting bits of this world behind locked doors and safes. It is such a waste.
They do it to protect us.
To protect their own skin, their position in all of this.
I would agree.
I do not blame them. Everyone is out for themselves, after all. But enough of my musing. I do not mean to draw this out. Just curiosity scratching behind my ear. Shall we get going? No?
Let's see, Vul, Nada, and Shepard are ready with the rest of the convoy, and Vul taking the head position, waiting for you guys to move along. So
Yes, we are coming.
Gonna get my 500 silver, I swear to God.
anyone that wants to try to remember what the actual word for this is can give me a history check.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, I have an excuse because my internet was garbage that day, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I want my money.
It's my money and I need it now.
Yeah, Ash and Bomber, you're easily able to recollect. It was posted up for needing 5, and it was 250 silver pieces split.
Relatively close.
Good shit.
Does anybody remember or no?
Well, I mean, you know, they said the strongest person out of the 5 gets the most silver.
So, okay, well, that's good for me.
No, they said strongest, not fastest, Cricket.
I don't think. He said.
I do not know. You do not see what happened in that inn room? Cricket's was a bolt of lightning.
Like I said, he's the fastest.
Oh, I'm pretty strong. Are you sure? I carried you for like 5 whole seconds, and you're a big guy.
Well, why don't we give it a whirl? Let's see who can win an arm wrestling match.
Oh, you're on, big guy.
All right.
Here we go.
Good job. The most pathetic wrestling match I've ever
It's like a slap fight.
Nat 2s. Easy.
Yeah, Cricket, you try your best, but like just putting your hand up against Bombers, you can feel just rippling muscle. He barely even has to exude an effort, and your arm just kind of just slowly just goes and then slams home.
Maybe you'll give it next
You
time.
cheated. You squeezed my hand really hard. You're not supposed to do that.
Pretty sure that's how you play the game, Cricket.
So what was it exactly?
It was 250 silver, split 5 ways.
Ah, wonderful. That should be plenty.
Cricket, that means 50 silver apiece.
I wasn't counting. I know that. I can.
As Penguin of the 12, even though this is your first official job with a decent payout on it, for an official job for Penguin, you know this is above average.
I mean, maybe they'll give us a bonus for this bowl thing. I don't know. Although it'll probably be broken even, though, since, well, you know, we lost the one cow.
That depends on who they blame. As I look over at Bull.
Certainly wasn't me. I mean, I saved my cow.
True enough.
Being short a crystal is going to knock my pay down a bit. But wild font is wild font.
Indeed.
So his pay's gonna get cut down and ours isn't?
That's correct.
Fucking idiot.
What was the exact job details? Just exploit him?
I think it's the shipment of cows.
Yeah, the exact job details was to meet with Volganarian and help him secure items required by the 12. What those items were not clear or explained. And you were also given the missive at the same time to deliver to Vol as well, which Vol explained that the 12 had it on good authority, but not definite, that a group of Bankers Guild members had something of interest to them. And so that's why there wasn't a specific bounty posted for it ahead of time. They were just like, investigate it, find out, bring it back.
In the interest of the 12, not the Thieves Guild, the 12.
Yeah, the Thieves Guild and the 12 are synonymous.
Ah, okay. Okay, got it.
Just how to see if we were seen favorably or not when our reputation comes on the line. They may praise us for getting a bit extra for them in this bowl, or we may give a slap on the wrist for losing one of their precious crystals. We'll just have to see.
Never know. Cricket, I got a bit of a question to ask you.
Oh, you be careful. I've been getting asked weird questions and I've been getting weird answers.
I noticed on the ship you seem to struggle a little bit with finding purchase, but you were punching left and right.
Well, I throw punches and sometimes I throw them a little too fast, or I get a little ahead of myself, and I guess I'm so strong, you see, that I just can't control my own strength.
Well, you know, do you know that the strength of a punch actually comes from the legs?
Well, yeah. Yeah?
Well, you seem to always be up on your tiptoes when you're punching.
I gotta reach them.
Well, I mean, focus on punching them in the stomach. A broken rib tends to hurt a lot more than missing a punch to the face.
Well, yeah, I know that. Go for the low, you said the low point?
Yeah, you gotta stand like this as I show him some stances of wide feet and how to better find purchase with his punches.
Oh, okay, try to follow after those things.
You gotta keep the heel down, see?
I just feel really heavy when I do this.
Well,
I don't think that's how it works.
The heavier the foot, the harder the punch.
I don't think that's right. I don't know. I got a buddy back at home. He told me you're supposed to stay light like a feather, and then you sting with a knife.
That's when you move, but when you stop and plant, that's how you strike like a knife. You know, because a knife has a good handle on it. Just like your feet.
Sting like a bee, not knife.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's
like a bee.
I'm pretty sure it's sting like a knife, because those things hurt when they cut you.
Look at that! I point to the wound I got on me. That stings. It still does, but not really, because I'm really tough. Toughest one.
I mean, bees aren't really that strong. You can't really get a bee through my hide.
Yeah.
But a knife, you can get a knife through anything.
So just stand like this.
Right.
All right, I'm just gonna throw a punch right at Bomber.
Wow.
Almost. Just a little bit farther back on the heels. I'm sure that would have knocked the shit out of any normal person.
Right.
But after all, I am the strongest person in the group.
Oh. Yeah, you hold on to that, buddy. We'll see how long that you say that it stays in your hands. I'm gonna take that shit from you.
Bobber just gained fucking 25 AC somehow.
You rolled a defense roll.
I did.
Yeah, that's weird when you have people rolling against defense rolls. It's...
Yeah, just the DC would have been higher than 24 because you have like plus 5 to hit, so it'd be 27. Yeah.
Bam!
Or you could just roll an attack and you just do it in picture AC. It works either way.
I'm not trying to fucking kill him. I'm just throwing a fist and bomb is ready so he already catches it or whatever with his big old hand. Yeah.
Pretty sure you would have killed a normal man.
Oh, I fucking kill him.
Thankfully, Cricket knows.
I do love the fact that that's like one of your highest rolls on the whole.
Oh yeah.
Cricket knows.
Gotta fight my allies more.
A host.
Hopefully that RP helps breaks your dice curse.
There are potentially a host of things that may assail you throughout the day, and so just kind of pull your punch a little bit so it doesn't take your full fucking damage.
My full fucking strength, because I'm the strongest.
Also, you do know there are bees out there. Strange creatures. One sting, able to kill a man in seconds. They swell up like a tomato and then pop. It's quite amazing, although I've never seen it myself.
That sounds so cool.
That sounds the opposite of amazing.
It's a good thing I'm not a man.
Stink, such a strong poison.
Wait, are you female?
So you a girl?
I reach and I feel.
I'm a dragonborn, you
I reach and I
fool.
feel. Is he a man?
I smack him away with my tail. I'm a dragonborn.
That's not my tail, bitch.
Oh, he's a man, alright.
As the 10-year-old
Just gonna walk away from this conversation.
Oh god.
Continuing along the road, enjoying your banter, and it's a relatively calm day, cloudy. There seems to be a bit of a sort of dampness in the air. Perhaps a storm is coming. But other than that, it seems to be pretty smooth day. Nothing seems to catch your attention beyond just some decent-looking scenery. No people really along the road, at least for this stretch of the journey. And you come to what looks like a decent clearing to make camp for one more night before you get back to the city.
Okay.
It's close to it anyway.
That's right.
Cricket, let us take watch, no?
Sure, yeah. Ophelia, you want to come watch with us?
Do you have enough people?
Make it watch for us. We got like all these. We have like a ton of people. There's like
Well, I mean, there's 7.
Can take it down.
I was counting. I know there's 7. I mean, I wasn't counting. Back.
Well, I mean, don't count Vold because leaders never have to take a watch.
So I'm not getting paid as much. Fucking idiot.
Okay, I'll take a watch with you two.
All right.
And just be starting my evening. Still working on this bone. I think I got most of it cleaned off. Just leaving only like the a hardened exterior, no real meat left on it.
The marrow.
Even the marrow inside.
I try to knit without Cricket seeing.
Alright, give me a knitting check with disadvantage using dexterity.
Dexterity.
And give me a stealth check as well.
Triple disadvantage.
What was the first part? Give me a knitting check with what?
Disadvantage
Dex,
and dexterity.
Yeah, dex and disadvantage, and then give me a stealth check. Oof.
Rip.
F.
Let me get the stealth check as well. Yeah,
Well,
you seem to make pretty good progress, just kind of keeping, your back to Cricket for the most part, or like keeping whatever it is you're working on over to the side, staying a little bit further away from the campfire light, and perhaps he's busy just looking at, I don't know, bugs or just focusing on the phone.
I'd be talking to Hesha if she wanted to talk to me.
Yeah. Mostly want to talk to Cricket anyways.
It seems to be preoccupied, and you make decent progress on your sweater, and no one seems to be any the wiser.
Oh, Cricket. How long have we known each other?
I kind of lost count of the days. It's been okay. There's like how many of those in a month and a year? Has it been a year yet? There's so many days.
I do not think so, but it must be getting close. Those first few weeks on the dregs are a bit of a days.
Oh, they was fun. You was a little young blood girl coming around thinking you know how to do stuff, and you kind of did, but I had to show you the old ropes. They're all above you. That's where they are.
I did so ever much enjoy that. And thank you. I may have gotten a little bit more lost than I wanted to if I did not have my green little friend around. How are you doing out here, Cricket? You know how I worry about you. You seem to be, well, covered in wounds, my dear little friend.
It's not so bad. It's honestly just kind of the smell I'm getting used to, and all the noises of, well, I'm used to people talking and things falling and hitting the ground. Not used to just birds. And did you know there's a thing called like a turkey out here? It's all sorts of weird shit out here. I don't understand. I don't really feel too comfortable. And the wound is nothing. Wound is just I'm always getting hurt.
That's the wonderful part, though. The lack of comfort. Being comfortable is so overrated. I love it. Being on edge, hearing your pulse in your ears. Oh. You never know what would happen out here. That strange crinkling noise is coming from nowhere, even now. What could it have been? Ah, it is gone.
It was a bird. It flew away.
Maybe it was one of those turkeys.
I like the sound they make. Is that why you went to the dregs?
Of course.
To be uncomfortable? Because it's pretty uncomfortable there.
You have got my number, Cricket. Yes. But there's so much life down there. Where I came from, it was nothing. It was routine and drills and standing and waiting, and it's nothing. You live your life doing nothing and rotting. I would love to die covered in blood than to simply sit and rot away. There's so much in this world, and so many people are content to let it just pass them by. I do not want such a thing. And I think you and I are much the same, my little friend.
Yeah, a little bit. That's all you come down for, is just to be uncomfortable because it's not the same. It just kind of sounds like a waste. Like you're really smart, and you know a lot of things that I don't know, and you can do a lot of things that I can't do. Like I belong in the dregs. I ain't good at nothing. But you could be so smart you can go anywhere. You don't have to just, stay in the dregs.
Just because a person is in such a strange place does not mean they cannot do great things. I enjoy the dregs because of the sounds and the smells and the struggles within. But I'm not going to get lost in it. I am going to use it as a stepping stone. No. Take one step into more and more interesting things. It is how I found the guild. And now I'm wandering outside the walls, witnessing strange things. The mutation of nature itself, Cricket. I love it. And none of this could have happened if I shied away from the dregs just because what? It was dirty? I do not think you are trapped there either, Cricket. I don't think anyone is. It is just how much you value comfort, I suppose.
I really do want to leave the dregs, but I got too much stuff to do. Got a person to fix up. They're not in a good way. Did I ever get you to look at him yet?
Your master, yes?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's feels weird to call him that. He calls me that too. I don't know. I still doesn't feel right. He's just Metal Man to me.
I do not know if I've had the pleasure. You always seem to bring it up, and I'm a bit not in the right state for such things.
Yeah.
Maybe the next time that we are home, we can take a look.
He doesn't like to be talked about too much. I'm pretty sure there's people after him. I think they want to look for him or something. I don't know. And he might be in trouble. I don't really get it too much myself, but gotta keep that on my eye.
Really? People after him, no?
Oh, he's always hiding. Except for people who come looking for him who are like, sick or small and hungry. He's pretty good about keeping open about them.
Wonderful. I mean, no, it is... I am sad for him. But if you need a helping hand for whatever trouble your master may be in, you have a willing friend by your side, Cricket.
Yeah, we might get into some trouble helping him. That could be pretty fun.
And maybe after a little payday here, I can actually afford some tools. Something that might help me when it comes to having a bit of luck.
Really? Oh, that'd be great, Hesha!
Of course.
You see just Cricket sort of rocking back and forth on his little stump he's sitting on. He's just happy, his ears sticking up, his sideburns a frill. Just a happy little goblin.
You are one of the good ones, Cricket.
Oh, I think I wanted to show you something. Hesha. And sort of hops off of the stump, and you see him sort of brace himself. Okay, hold on, do that thing again, Cricket. Do that thing. He breathes in and he breathes out, and you see him smiling and start to shake a little bit. Looks like he's getting excited. And all of a sudden, just across his body, a spark, a trail, a stream of electricity just going all over him. This feels weird, Hesha. I was doing this on the ship.
Look, how's that?
Look, it's what you said. I think it's electricity. Yeah, you said you touch the thing and it makes your body move, right?
Indeed.
Check this out.
And he starts shaking a little bit, and you see static starting to build across his body, and then he just sprints as he's going to, on top of dashing as a little goblin might, he's also going to invoke a little bit of his strange energy inside him and step like the wind. And he's just running around camp.
Stop! You are a living conductor! Oh, I know that the body could hold such things, but I've never seen such of this. Oh, Cricket, it is amazing!
Hey, you see Cricket just running around in circles around the camp really fast.
I don't know, but it feels so strange. I don't understand it.
Looking at him, the thing that kind of strikes you the most odd is that you see these sort of faint blue after images of him as he cuts through the air. Also, Cricket and Hesha, give me D100 rolls.
I should become a Super Saiyan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, whoops, it's D100.
Got him.
Yeah, you,
Golf score.
you unlock your channel, your divine intervention.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, I'm only level 2. I needed
Nice,
2 or
right,
1.
right.
Okay.
What's of you, Ophelia? Are you enjoying yourself? I know it may be a bit bloody for your taste.
I mean, I'm okay. I just don't like killing without a reason. I mean, I guess they attacked us first, but
Yes, they wanted to steal property of the guild. What would happen if we allowed such things to happen?
I mean, I think we could have just like knocked them out, just put them somewhere where they couldn't hit us anymore.
Fair enough. I figure if you put someone down, it is best to put them down for good. People are such sticklers for grudges. I don't ever really understand it all that much, but apparently when people are wronged, they want to get revenge. It's always seems so petty to me. But what can you do?
I mean, it just seems weird. Like, I didn't really sign up for any of this. I thought we were going to be doing stuff to fix the city, but this just seems like mercenary work.
Oh, my dear girl. You did not realize that the guild has a underbelly to it. Did they hire you for your... what? Your ability to help people? Or your ability to wear that armor and swing that mace?
I mean, they said I was going to be helping people. They seemed trustworthy enough.
I'm sure they do in their own way. It's just... well, I like to think that they know how the world works. Their decisions are... well, I like to think they are wise. We can only do what they say and hope it is for the better. I mean, what is the alternative?
I guess you're right.
Or are you having second doubts?
Well, I'll stick with this for a little while longer. Just if it doesn't change, then maybe. But I'll wait it out.
Anyway, I'm sure you will come to appreciate it, if nothing else. And if anything is too hard, Ophelia, you always have a shoulder to cry on. I'm a very good listener.
Maybe I'll talk to Cricket first.
Cricket's still just running around until he's finally slowing down. Oh.
Maybe I won't talk to Cricket first.
Hey, Ophelia.
Have you tired yourself out now, Cricket?
Yeah, I think so. Can you use some of that magic to make me feel better?
My magic mostly heals wounds. It doesn't restore vitality. I think maybe it's just time for you to go to bed.
You think it's bedtime? Oh, maybe. I feel a little dizzy.
What, you were running around in circles? That's what happens when you run around in circles.
No, just running and turning left.
Oh, Cricket.
And I just
Isn't he adorable?
Vomit into my own lap.
Like I said, like his little baby.
Cricket, how old are you?
I am a solid 10 years old. Why?
Like I said, how old is Silent Goblin?
Let's see. Smaller of our kin. They age quick here. He is actually relatively old for his kind. Although I've heard of older living goblins, they just simply mature faster than others.
Scratching my giant sideburns.
When it comes to my kind, yeah,
How
closer
long
to
does
yours.
goblins normally live for?
Myself, my kind, the hobgoblins, we are very close to you humans. We live to 70 or 80 if sickness does not take us first. Cricket over there could live just as long, although, well, it is not exactly common.
I was just watching his ass fuck around back there.
No.
He's on the
He's on the counter.
Yeah, he's on the counter.
Yep. Get him, Andy.
A little shithead. But I'm sure Cricket will live a long and wonderful life. Especially if we keep doing all of this. Don't worry, Cricket. Ophelia will make sure that you stay alive. Isn't that right, Ophelia?
I mean, I could try my best, but I'm not a miracle worker.
Wonderful.
So I can just be dangerous and have fun?
Please don't.
I look at Hesha.
Do it.
No, don't
Take
do
on
it.
Grin.
Actually, I can only heal so much.
It's fine. It is fine.
I don't think it's fine.
No, it's fine. And I'm reaching into my mess. Can you see him pulling out a knife? No, sure. You see, it'll sting if I go right in through the hand.
If anything happens to you, Cricket, and Ophelia does not feel like mincing your wounds, I'll put a hand on his shoulder and just sort of run 2 fingers across where he was cut before. As magic seems to swirl around that strange pinkish smoke. So I also pour a little bit of magic into you.
Oh.
You know that you have many friends, and we will all look out for you.
That's good, because my knife is already going into the hand. Oh, it stings! Yep. And then the magic just washes it away. Oh, Hesha, you just keep doing all this stuff I never knew you could do. You're blowing up trees and ships, and now you're fixing my hand just like Ophelia does. I should learn how to do
wonderful
that.
thing about this world, Cricket. You go out, you get away from your comfort, you find excitement, and you learn such amazing things.
I should learn how to do that.
You could, if you wish.
As he just sort of looks down at his hand and starts just contemplating, thinking, his ears sort of just going up and down, which will take a while.
Oh, he's disappeared into his little head. What's you, Ophelia? I've always wondered about these clerical things. You get your gifts from worship, no?
Can't remember that.
Fine. If you do not wish to share more, maybe another night. I will break that shell of yours. Well, I think our time is about out. Let us have the other boys do their work, no? Obama!
Yes.
Ah, you are awake. You are such an easy waker.
Well, when you have to fight fires, you tend to wake up pretty quickly.
Ah, wonderful. Well, I am going to bed. I will leave the rest to you.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Good night.
As the rest of the night seems to pass without too much trouble, and Ophelia and Hesha both gain heroic inspiration.
Oh, snap. What does that mean?
Means you get a card.
Means you die instantly.
Yeah. We come into the early morning of the next day.
I don't know if I'm allowed to use this, Jordan.
Ah, it's fucking wet outside.
Why?
I don't know if I'm allowed to use this, Jordan. Whisper you on Discord. You're not
Says play immediately. Says play immediately. You win.
Does it want to play immediately? So everything in the deck should be fine.
Can I use that? I don't know if you want us doing that.
Oh yeah, if you cash that in for that, it just goes to the party.
Okay. Cool. I like that better. Okay.
Okay.
And I hear party-wide buff.
All right.
I think I got you.
I'll use it at an appropriate moment. Cool stuff.
Like if, I left that one in there because it pushes the decision. It's like, oh fuck, I could use it for this, but I want to hang on to it so I can cash it in for this.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. You scared me there for a second.
I scared myself. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh god.
Oh, I don't know if I should use this or not.
The game's gonna fall apart. It's like, yep, it's the deck of many things card, guys. Buckle up.
Yeah.
I knew it!
Easy, I'm ready. Just play it now. Alright, so I draw 30. I'll go first. Alright, guys, I'll go first. I'll draw 29 cards.
First one, Don John.
Flip the whole deck over.
Alright, first one. Oh, it's the one that sends my soul away. Alright, bye, guys.
Bye, have a great life.
Bye, and then I took the rest of the cards.
Now we get on the road again.
Yeah. It seems to be thickly overcast with a constant, ever-present drizzle throughout the day. Just about everyone seems to be pretty bothered by it. Vol and Nada and Shepard all hate it. Everyone just seems to be in kind of a sour and dour mood.
Yeah, shit, this is why I like being in the dregs, having a ceiling. There's a fucking leak on you.
It's just a little water, nothing to be concerned about, really.
Just think of it as refreshing, Cricket. It's like beautiful drinking water falling from the sky.
Yeah, besides, Cricket, I mean, you look like the kind of fellow that could use a shower every once in a while.
That's the problem. All my stink's washing off me.
That's a good thing.
No, it's not. Trust me. This rain is strong enough.
You just gotta learn to stand up when...
The only thing this is doing is making my clothing wet and sticking to my skin.
Mr. All Black tight clothing with a cloak around your neck, just everything's just dragging.
It's a scarf, just matted.
It's an ascot, thank you very much.
It's a scarf, mind you. Gosh.
Shit, the first thing we
Overcoat, undershirt, pants, good looking shoes. Mud. F.
I mean, I've kind of noticed something, Ash. You don't really take watches at night. Seem to always be sleeping.
What?
It's okay watching.
Maybe I am taking watches while you're sleeping, and then when you're taking watch, I am asleep. That's a good point.
I mean...
That is a very good observation, Bomber. Thank you for noticing that I am asleep while you're taking watch.
You're
I feel like
welcome.
this conversation is getting very heated, and I just want to know that we're all fine.
Don't worry, it's okay if it's heated. It's fucking raining. Everyone can just cool off, right? That's so good about the fucking rain.
That's true.
There's mud on my feet.
You strike
It's
me...
not with temper. It can get you into quite...
likes mud on your feet.
Yeah, when it's nice and dry and it's from home, it's fucking outdoor mud.
Isn't that considered dirt?
I don't know. You know, I'm no expert on dirt and mud. I don't know this stuff.
Oh, dude, I thought you said you were from the Dreads.
I'm from garbage. That's where I'm from. This is bullshit.
With the reduced...
So, Cricket, what are you going to do with your 50 silver pieces?
Buy some new fucking clothes, I guess. Fucking ruined.
I'm pulling out my already tattered shirt. It's already ripping more.
You know, I might know a guy that could make you something pretty cool.
Which pretty cool.
I mean, do you ever heard of a thing called a cape?
I have one of those. It's got...
No, that's not a cape, Cricket.
It looks like a cape to me, buddy. It's
Well,
really comfy to sleep on.
no, that's called a pile of lint.
I think he means something a little bit your size, Cricket.
That's not really big, though.
Well, do you want it bigger than you?
I mean, bigger means better.
I mean, have you ever seen what a big cape does when you run really fast?
I don't think I have. Does it look cool?
I mean, it strikes terror in everyone around you.
Oh, yeah. I like the sound of that.
I thought you would. Actually, I would assume you're gonna buy yourself a bedroll.
The fancy strikes me. I need some tools, though. I wonder if the guild has some good connection.
I'm sure they do.
Board seems to be everyone seems to be pretty close together with the reduced visibility of this low-hanging fog and this constant rain. It's kind of hard to see off in the distance and through the trees, so the caravan is just kind of compressed together, and so Vool is, relatively speaking, within earshot behind you. You just hear him kind of just wipe some of the rain off of his face and just kind of speak up. We need tools for what it is you're working on. You just put a requisition in once you complete the job, and you've proved yourself. Thieves Guild 12 doesn't just hand out anything to anyone, but soon we make it back safely, we'll be proved, Pennyman.
Wonderful. I knew this was the right choice.
You know, Vol, what is kind of the normal, acceleration in the Thieves Guild? How many levels are there?
Same as anything else. You have your Pennymen, your Silver Hands, your Gold Shields, And depending on the guild, a various number of platinum royals. Or, as the 12 affectionately call them, royal dogs. But that's usually just the 12. And, of course, with the 12, there are 12 of them. I think the Baker's Guild has more.
Of course they do. They always have more. Bunch of assholes.
Obama, what are you gonna do with your money?
Well, that's a good question. I don't really know. Maybe give some to the orphanage, maybe buy a nice steak. Who really knows?
That does sound good. We should all go out and have a celebration together. Steak sounds wonderful.
Well, I mean, Hesha,
You're paying.
are you even gonna pay for the steak, or are you just gonna run
You
out
said
right
you're buying
afterwards?
the steak.
Well, for myself.
Yeah, you said you were buying the steak, Obama.
For me.
Look, we all pay for each other. Look, I'll pay. That's perfectly fine. I'm not a stickler on such things. I just want to have a good time. Yes? Do you want to join us, Bo? Are you feeling left out?
No. I was just laughing at your sense of merriment.
I think it is one of my finer points. Thank you.
It just reminded me of my youth, that's all.
Hey, how long have you been in the Caelumvale?
Coming on, I think, about... well, I've been a member of a Thieves Guild. One of the ones that was consolidated into the 12 for about 30 years.
You're fucking old.
And I've been a member of the 12 since it was formed.
Really?
I guess you could say about 48 years. Doing what needs to be done. For one interest or another.
Well, how come you're not one of the 12, Vol?
That sort of responsibility doesn't particularly interest me. I might have seen myself advance in the old Thieves Guild, but... the Platinum Royals of the 12... they have a lot to deal with, to put it simply. And I find my position as an experienced Silver Hand to be rather freeing. I don't particularly care for being cooped up in the city all that long, and getting to go outside and traverse the wilderness and travel to places far away from here on tour of business is not something that Gold Shields and Platinum Royals really do all that often. But trusted members of the Silver Hands get to travel.
Whoa, you act so tough. But I think you and I are cut from the same cloth. I love your story. And for being around for so long, you must have seen all the wonderful and naughty things of the guild, no? You have to share what's the dirtiest thing you've done. Hmm?
The dirtiest thing I've done.
Come now.
Thinking on it, there is one, not really story, a tale per se, but something that does kind of ring true in my mind. Far north near the God's Peak Mountains, before, well, before the moon dragons got rid of them anyway, there was a great number of very cold and very blue frost giants, ones that weren't too keen on the city of Caelumvale's attempts at expanding further north. And they seem to have in their possession, well, artifacts would be a bit generous, just items of frigid intent. Cold magic that even some of the greatest wizards, I don't think, would really be able to understand. Now, you can't tell whether or not that's necessarily true, or maybe that's just his own, he's not a fucking wizard. What does he know? But back when I was younger and a bit more limber.
A long time ago.
Yes. 16 years ago, cricket.
That's a long time.
My brother and I managed to sneak into one of their caverns, covered in snow, large crystals of ice dangling from the ceiling, glittering like diamonds. And we managed to steal some of their magical relics, bending cold to their whim. But apparently, what we did not know was that one of them kept that place far north, much colder than it was supposed to be. You see, after we left that place, we were chased quite feverishly back to Caelumvale. Large wolves of white and grey that seemed to have frost at their, at the tips of their lips. It seemed that they were cold themselves, hunted us down with frost giants not too far behind. Time and again we gave them the slip, getting closer and closer to the big, safe, warm walls of Caelumvale. But we ended up getting cornered and kept away from the main gates. And as we were chased along the wall, we only had one other option to getting inside, as the Firewatch tried to push back against the frost giants who were now sieging the walls. We had to brave the Plummet River. Not something that anyone really does and lives to tell about it. But you see, the mistake is taking the river all the way into the city. No need for all that. Just take it underneath the wall, lift up the heavy grates. There should still be a winch or chain there even to this day. And you can get through right underneath, all 240 long feet. Just don't get caught at high tide. Don't get caught after a long storm. That's how you end up getting washed away into the city.
That sounds amazing. You must take me to this place of frosty giants. I always love to see it.
Well, I don't know how frosty it is anymore. The snow...
No?
Yes, the snow only seems to sit at the top of the mountains now, whereas before it covered them all the way to the base. The giants were hunted from these realms by the moon dragons in a campaign during the summer months about a decade ago.
But that is disappointing. But still a wonderful tale. Can't wait to see what else is out here, or even in the city. Waiting. You think the guild will send us on such thing?
Getting to travel outside the city walls, going to far off places. If you're lucky, Maybe.
Wonderful. I cannot wait.
Even as a pennyman?
Well, if it's someplace no one else wants to go, especially as a pennyman. But
That sounds up our alley, apparently.
Maybe I will stay as such then. If it means that we get first crack at such things.
it's only a matter of who takes a shine to you. Though I think you got this job from Virgil, didn't you? You had missives from him anyway.
Yeah.
That's correct.
No doubt he wants you to prove yourselves to him. I've heard... well... actually... now that I think about it... you just see him... he seems to just kind of... stop his own mouth.
Come now. You cannot start sharing secrets and then stop halfway. I am all ears.
Sideways glance from Ash. He just, is brief, and he just keeps looking forward.
All I'll say is this. I have heard that Virgil has ambitions of his own. And like I've told you before, Hesha, a pennyman of the 12 is wise to ask questions, but a hand knows when to shut up.
Of course. Everybody stick in their little rows. Everybody step in step as their little toys are supposed to be. I understand. Until the toys get a mind of their own.
I'm not a toy.
Neither am I. I don't think he...
Wonderful.
He eats his words. He's about to say, I'm not going to be a tool, and then he realizes his position.
I'm a dragonborn.
Toys are just fucking stupid. They just break all the time. Just pay money for a toy, some fucking dog chews on it. It's in. It's over. Fucking waste of money.
Cricket, I think I need to teach you how to beat the shit out of some dogs or something.
Hell yeah! Find some dogs!
Is that why you don't like dogs? Because they broke your toy?
But you didn't break your toy, Cricket.
I don't fucking have toys. They're too expensive and they break.
I know. You said the dogs, destroyed them.
Well, because I had one. No, dogs just bite a lot of things. And I look over at Mr. Dogman. Well, most of them do.
I mean, I've never been bit by a dog.
I've been bit by dogs. When you're small and you live in a big old pile of garbage in the bottom of a city, well, a stray dog, they get pretty hungry. And they'll go after something small and scrawny if it means they can get them. But they don't know how hard Cricket can punch. Or how hard he can
Jaws of glass, huh?
Jaws of fucking glass.
We're going to record this, but Cricket, do you need a place to stay?
No, I sleep. I just sleep wherever I need to.
I know,
got a whole
but,
little...
have you ever slept in a real bed?
I sleep on the floor like every goblin does.
What if you didn't have to?
Then I wouldn't. Everyone's asking weird questions.
Well, I'm saying, what if we had a place that you can stay that wasn't in a pile of garbage?
Well, I mean, I got family back home. I gotta stay with them. I have brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles. I think.
Yeah,
how noble.
I gotta make sure they don't steal my shit.
Why don't you just stay with Ophelia?
Well, because then I'd owe her something. And then I don't have the money to pay her back.
I mean, You can stay with me as long as you just keep me laughing.
For real?
Yeah.
No payment or nothing?
As long as you keep me laughing, everything's a-okay.
I'll think about it. That sounds weird. I feel like you're gonna get the old jump on cricket.
Well, I doubt that. I mean, you are the fastest.
I am the fastest. You're the strongest.
I'm the strongest.
No! Toughest.
Well, you can certainly take a hit or two.
Hell yeah, I can. Pump out my little chest and walk a little faster.
Traveling.
Now you inflated it.
There's nothing wrong with inflating a little guy's ego.
Tosses up softball and just binks it over the fucking fence.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Palmer.
Traveling throughout the day.
Oh, speaking of which,
give me a fucking dex.
No, I'm sorry. No.
Why you what?
Boulders, God. No. Mercy.
The rocks, they fall. Yeah, traveling throughout
your
the day,
character's dead.
Getting pretty close in the early afternoon, maybe about anywhere between 1 and 3 o'clock. You're about 2, maybe 3 miles out from the crossroads, the ones that you saw the big signpost for most of which their signs seem to be crossed out, except for Onyx on the flats. And at about this point, there seems to be just a single merchant heading down the road towards you guys, just riding on horseback with it seems like a decently sized, not wagon, but like a half a wagon.
Is it only them?
Is he only by himself?
One person?
Does he look armed?
I hope so. How else is he supposed to ride a horse?
No, it's just him on the horse, coming closer and closer, as Vool is, behind you guys.
Alright, I'll motion over to the group. Clear the way, let him pass.
Duh! Hello there!
And as you guys kind of look down, Vool just kind of signals to Nada and Shepard to adjust the caravan over to make room, because the cows block up most of the road. And as the merchant, who seems to have like a hood over his head, you can't really see his face too much. He just seems to be of relatively fair complexion, as a not a full beard, but just like a 5 o'clock shadow kind of going on. And he looks over at Vool up on horseback and kind of seems to slow down for just a few moments and just says in an oddly staccato fashion, "Fine day for profit. May the prices be high when you roll into town." He just seems to pause heavily for a moment and drop suddenly after you sell, and his tone seems to shift, and then he just keeps riding.
What a cheery gentleman.
What was that about? Passable. Not looking back at, but just asking out loud.
You can see Vool kind of pinching the bridge of his nose, and Ophelia, hearing him say this, you're not really certain what it means, but you have heard this sort of staccato rhythm before, this sort of break in speech and sudden shift in tone. In your experience in the Firewatch, dealing with people who have gotten themselves into trouble and needing to tend to wounds or things of that nature, helping people, there have been people that you have needed to help that have been up to no good. And sometimes they seem to say things that don't really make sense to one another, but have a relatively similar rhythm. And it's pretty clear to you that something was said to Vool in the same fashion. As Vul kind of moves the horse around and in front of the caravan to kind of address the lot of you, it seems there's been a complication. That message from the merchant, that was a message from a shield. It seems that something is not right at Caelumvale.
Really?
Indeed. We might have to enact an alternate plan. Let's get closer to the crossroads. We'll take a look and see what it is that's going on. As you can see now, he just like whips the horse around and is now riding in front of you guys.
Yeah, break into line. Called.
Cricket, they might not be able to pay you.
Oh, they better fucking pay me.
I walk with a real eager step.
I'm not walking through the mud and not getting paid.
Like Cricket goes back to his grumpy Cricket, growling and chittering his teeth.
Yep. Anticipation as to see what it is that's going wrong is kind of chewing at, I guess, at least your mind for sure, because you're concerned about your payment. But you don't see like any smoke billowing over the horizon or anything like that. Nothing that that screams disaster. But
I'm disappointed.
Too bad. As you continue down the road and get closer and closer to the crossroads, you can see a host of people and caravans and wagons, and it just seems like a massive line. It seems to stretch back and back and back, just trade caravans, groups of animals, and boxes and crates of supplies. It seems like things that have been traveling overland from far-off settlements to here have been, well, I guess backed up. As you kind of come around and over closer and closer to the crossroads, you can see this caravan stops at the city gates. And along the framework of essentially this, you know, the road to the city gate, there are a host of armed and armored men that seem to be going through the caravan, and they are not dressed in the relatively calm and neutral greens of the Firewatch. They seem to be dressed in bright silver and purple and black, the colors of which Ash most especially would recognize of the moon dragons.
I see.
As we're walking towards there, anticipation, you know, not knowing what's going to happen, maybe we'll have another, you know, mercenary conflict thing. Lost life. Okay, we're going to keep casting this till I get 8. There we go. All right.
Yeah, just damn it, got it.
It's like
So good.
misty, and it's like whoa, and it just solidifies. We're done. Because I can cast that at will with no components.
What the hell are you doing?
Good stuff. Fortifying my constitution for the impending conflict that awaits us.
Wait, are we gonna get into a fight?
No, we're just in line. Look at that. They got a bunch of fucking tourists coming into the city, and they're holding everyone up, and now they gotta check everyone out.
I mean, those aren't the Firewatch, though, up there.
Nope. Those are moon dragons.
Moon dragons?
What, I know what the fuck that is?
Although I wish for such a thing, I think if we get into a fight, we'd end up quite dead.
Yeah, if we don't win this fight, we need to find a way around them.
You see Vol kind
Moon
of
dragons.
Like stroking at his dwarven beard, kind of twisting bits and
Fuck is a
pieces
moon dragon?
with his fingers, and looking at the moon dragons. They seem to be paying particular close attention to livestock, patting down each cow, goat, and sheep that enters the city as if they were criminals.
Cricket, the Moon Dragons are an independent mercenary guild from, well, the 12, as an entire overall, you know, all the guilds. They're not connected. 12 have no jurisdiction for them.
Yes. The Moon Dragons are one of the few, one of the only, really, true mercenary companies left in Caelumvale. The rest have been folded into the Firewatch, but Senator Welgan has kept the Moondragons for himself.
Bunch of thugs, I see.
Yeah, there's some godless private army.
What a silly sounding name, Moondragons.
But
Although I believe in all of this we say that I believe we are well and goodly fucked, yes?
No. We have an alternate plan.
Indeed.
We're going to go around this line and continue west. Come on.
Alright.
We'll have to cross over the Plummet River, but hopefully that'll pan out.
Oh.
We don't know about the Plummet River.
Do we have enough
That's
silver
that
to pay
place
the
you're
ferry,
saying
or
we're gonna die.
are we going to have to take off the axles and float?
No, we're just going to cross the bridge.
Okay, good point. There is a bridge. Great, that's the unforeseen bridge.
Mystery
Oh,
solved.
Ash dies of dysentery.
Too much false hope.
Heck.
Nah, you got bit by a rattler snake.
Got bit by cricket.
Yep, we hunted enough meat, but unfortunately we can only take back 20 pounds. Dang it.
Yep.
Curse it.
Yeah. Continuing west past the front gate, and Vul just seems to lead the caravan closer and closer to the Plummet River, which you can begin to start to hear just kind of moving towards the city. And you can see just this large, not overtly large, but significantly large stone bridge just arch over the river. And just lead the caravan over that. He points off into the distance, maybe about about 300 feet, maybe 500 feet or so, towards like this large sort of arch where the river passes underneath the wall. That's the spot right there. That's how I got through after that frost giant business. Wasn't smart, wasn't easy. It worked well enough.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
You can see Ophelia, you're relatively astute in terms of picking things up. There seems to be an obvious nervousness to Vul to you with your assumingly decent passive insight. It seems like maybe he's talking more to distract himself, or something is on his mind.
Let's hear it.
Bust you.
Do we expect any trouble going across the bridge?
No, you guys make it over the bridge just fine. And you just keep going.
Ash keeps looking behind us.
Were you talking to Bull?
Yeah, I was asking Paul.
No, I don't expect any trouble right now. It's just making sure that everything pans out. Come on, we have a ways to go. We have to get past the stone walls.
Of course, of course.
The clock continues to tick down and more time passes before eventually you seem to actually walk about the length of the stone wall from the main gate all the way to the end, and then you keep going past it as it looks like the storm wall turns to the right of you towards the cliffs, and you all head in the opposite direction towards the trees, breaking away from the road and kind of going through this sort of trail where the convoy needs to compress essentially into like one cow in a line essentially in order to make it through this space. And then you just keep going and going and going further and further into this sort of not very thick forest at first, but as you travel for hour after hour, coming it seems now on to about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll finally shift direction one more time, heading north. And about 30 minutes later, you get to a clearing in the forest. As it begins to get darker and darker and time passes, Vul finally turns to you all.
We finally done with a little detour.
Oh, my feet hurt.
Yes. You can take a seat. We're not going any further.
Alright. Just sits where he's standing.
I suspect we've been betrayed. That merchant we saw wasn't a messenger for a shield. That was a shield of the 12 in disguise, warning me to go to Plan B. It wasn't until we got in sight of the gates and I saw Welgen's men I understood why. Somebody tipped the moon dragons off to our shipment. Now we have to wait here for someone to pick up the shards. We head back to the gate in the morning.
You tell me we got a rat?
Seems like it, Cricket.
Oh, I love bushing rats.
I feel like Cricket probably enjoys eating a rat too.
I'll tear that rat to fucking pieces.
You don't think it's anyone within your group? I mean,
What?
obviously it's not within ours.
My dark vision's so little.
Our group. Just as we got the job, we had no time to talk. At least I don't believe so. I got the message, I headed up.
We did not know that they'd be shipping them on such wonderful beasts.
Hang on, and then I opened up my book, reference to the page where I wrote it down. We weren't told of any cargo, obviously. So common for Pennyman. We were just told to help ship whatever you have and deliver that message.
That's right.
That
Hey,
was our
Nada,
job.
why don't you start a fire? That'd be great.
Having trouble seeing, are ya? I'll see what I can do. Get some sticks, get something going.
Yeah, I'll light up
Stay that order.
tinder box myself.
We don't want the moon
1,
dragons coming across
2,
us in the
3,
forest.
4, 5, 6.
If you can't
Oh, wait, we don't
See how
want
these
to
counts
fire.
right?
We don't
if
want
you
to fire.
can't
Chicken.
see, Red, then light up a torch. We don't want to
I
draw
need to
too
learn to
much
count
attention.
better.
I don't have the lantern of the hooded kind, so it's on you.
No, I'm fine with the dark.
Was a bit conspicuous, walking past that line with the wonderful cows. You don't think they would come after us, do you?
I don't think they spotted us.
It didn't seem
Yeah.
like they were riding after us at the time. Didn't hear any horses after us, but someone may have noticed. That's why I didn't want to light up a fire.
Oh, should we set another ambush? That was really fun when we did it before.
No. We're just waiting for the contact to get here.
Well, that's no fun at all.
What if your contact is the rat?
Who?
I guess you'll be earning every single one of them silver pieces then, won't you?
Wonderful.
Well, we probably shouldn't kill the rat. We need to find out what he knows.
Bash it out of them.
Well, first we have to sniff out the rat.
We gotta make sure he's still alive, though.
I'm not too good on that part.
Did we come here from somewhat of an obvious trail?
You broke off the road that goes, that kept going, and you veered way off.
Okay. Well, we didn't find like a convenient trail, like a hunting trail or something to get here. Was it just like openish land?
There seemed to be not necessarily a well-worn one, but Vul seemed to know where he was going. It looked like if you were paying close attention to it as you were walking through the forest, you would have been able to pick up, I think, some signs of, it looks like people have been through here before.
Okay. I'll just backtrack just a little bit, just like, still an earshot of everybody basically, and I like to set up just a little bit of a trap. Nothing that does anything, just use the string that I've got and just wrap around some rocks. Put rocks on top of rocks. So when you trip over the string, it just basically topples over a pile of rocks that are off to one side. So you just hear, the rocks falling.
Gotcha.
Do that.
In terms of like navigating your way, perhaps back to the city if you needed to, you can see the lighthouse. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's mostly just if somebody was coming this way to find us, we'd probably hear them on their way. As long as they don't see my tripwire.
With my dark vision, I'd probably see Hesha putting stuff together and lifting rocks and moving them around, and I'd basically try to do the same thing as her, but I'm not really sure what she's doing, so I'm just stacking rocks and shit together.
Oh, Cricket. You see what I'm doing, Cricket? You make the piles. You put a string underneath. There's nothing at rest. But you pull the string, as I just pull it, and all the rocks tumble over. It makes quite a racket, no?
Oh, yeah, I could hear that really good. And as you're sort of twitching the rain.
Just enough, so that we know if someone was coming. Nothing to hurt, but it is always nice to be a bit careful in such things. I like being the one to have the drop, not the other way around.
Yeah, it's not fun to have someone sneak up on you, but it sure is fun to sneak up on someone.
Indeed.
I go out and continue to help. I'm still just stacking rocks.
I'll just point out, right there, put a pile on the string there, and I will do this side. Now, return to the group. So, we wait in the rain once again.
Hmm.
I don't like it any more than you do.
I guess I will do a bit of practice then, if you do not mind. Go over and sit down as I'm gonna start stomping down parts on the wet grass and actually tearing pieces of the grass out until I get a small little circle in front of me, and then I'm going to put my hand on it, and you can see that misting smoke starting to roil out of my fingers and almost fill up this strange circle as I begin to cast a ritual. Just gonna cast a little bit of detect magic because I finished my circle. It seems like the mist almost seems to settle in the bottom of this circle as I scoop it out with my hands and just wipe it across my eyes like a couple times, and then just look throughout the group, just picking up on magic around us, taking attention to the cows, obviously, with the crystals hidden within their fur, and also looking at Red to see if I see anything about that bowl. But if anything else picks up my lighty senses.
Yeah, looking at the cows, it almost looks like they have not a disco ball, but those modern disco balls where it's lights, that are just colored lights. Yeah, it just it's like a bunch of them in a ball form. You know what I'm talking about? It just looks like essentially a rainbow is coming off the bottom of each one of these cows.
Look at that!
You're seeing essentially every school of magic all at once, just pouring off of these crystals.
If they were looking for such things, it would be quite an easy task.
And then looking at the rest of the group, yeah, nothing else seems to be flaring up with any sort of magical aura or anything like that.
Nothing from Red? Nothing small? Itty bitty? Pilfered? Like some sort of ring?
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about.
You leave my ring alone, damn it.
Okay.
There seems to be a very, very faint fragment of transmutation magic connected to one of Red's fingers, or Bomber's fingers.
And I take my little sack and I jingle it around, look inside of it.
Looking inside of your sack, well, after 2 days or so, you notice that the warmth that this had given off just steadily got lower and lower and lower. They seem to almost have just, what's the word?
Minute.
A pinprick of light of each color, just a single one. So there's just a little orange faint glow inside for each one of evocation and one for divination. They seem to have the same sorts of connection, but they have perhaps an ounce of strength left to them.
Wonderful. Okay.
But they are cool to the touch, and they are no longer discharging.
Nope.
Doesn't seem like they're going to degrade any further.
That's all I do. Hanging out.
I'm just gonna sit and keep my ears perked, really excited. Some of that electricity still sort of coursing over me every so often while I catch my breath getting a little too fast. Just listening, hoping for the sound of rocks falling.
How long you reckon this person's gonna take, Bull?
I do not know, but if we have switched to the alternate plan, like the Gold Shield said, then they should be meeting us tonight. Cricket, every so often, you kind of just get this sort of, not soreness, but this sort of tingle in your teeth. And it sort of kind of just builds to a culmination. Like, it doesn't, it's hard to describe. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel good. It just feels like, almost like something's pushing against your teeth, I guess. And then it just kind of, it gets to a peak, and then it just suddenly goes away. And each time it gets to that peak, just off in the distance,
I look back at Hesha. Last time I saw a big blast of lightning, it was her doing, so but now I see if she's doing stuff, any magical things.
You
just see, like, yeah, these, like, pink mist is just, like, almost leaking out of her the corners. Almost like she's crying, but she just got a happy expression on her face.
I'm going to trust that she's not going to blow me up.
Just looking around at the cows and looking in her little sack that she's got.
I just take note. Very poorly, of course, but take note. It's not so much air conditioning is on, but in my ears.
Something
What is that?
is reaching your ears as you kind of look over and around, looking, trying to see something against the night sky, the clouds blocking out the stars and the moon. Everything seems black. And then it seems like with your eyes, you're sharper, you know, your special eyes. You see something sort of just almost like a chunk of black moving against darker black, as something seems to shift through the trees itself.
Guys, we got
How
something
long has it
coming.
been?
Oh, God.
Since we rested? Well, I mean, not rested, but, you know, since I've got, yeah. I would have confided a bit, Shepard, in low voices, asking him about the trial of strength. See if he knows anything of that mythology.
He talks about it as though it was an old ritual to prove oneself before the gods, but it is something that school do not do any longer since the disappearance of the queens. It hasn't been something they haven't done that trials of strength in forever. I'm surprised that you've heard of it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I see this thing approaching, I'd be pointing back. Hesha, everybody, we got company.
Wonderful. It's like, get to my feet.
And they didn't knock over a single rock.
Descending from the sky, a true airship.
Look at that.
Draped in black cloth to keep from being seen, and its rigging elements padded to not give off any telltale sounds. It seems large enough to fit all of these cattle beneath it, and to have a decent crew aboard as well, but you only see one man atop it.
Vol, is this your man?
Indeed. As he seems to kind of step forward, and the airship comes to a soft and graceful landing in the...
You want I should bring the pain to him?
No, I think
this is one of our associates.
Oh, I thought it was their. Okay, I get you. Not a rat.
Not a rat.
As it comes down to a soft landing, you could hear the sort of that soft discharge of energy, the one that seemed to be allowing this thing to fly or move at all, seemed to come to a stop, as perhaps the captain or just the man in charge or somebody here over the side. Vul, I see that everything is okay with the cargo. Once again, that telltale rhythm reaches your ears, Ophelia. Once again, something doesn't seem right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and insight check the way he's speaking. That seems suspicious.
It seems that he's speaking in the same sort of broken rhythm and shift in tone that the Gold Shield did as well. And Vul's behavior kind of shifts from one of almost relaxation. He seems to almost turn white, and he seems to stammer almost. Cargo? What cargo? Just these here splayfoots is all we got. The hell you doing landing out here and spooking my cattle anyway? Look, Ganarian, the captain says, seeming to, quite obviously to you, Ophelia, feign annoyance. Are we doing business or not? And Vul just kind of shifts forward over and closer to you, Red. Look, keep them off us until we can get away. Get that ball of the 12, understand? Tell them I headed south. Tell them I'll try that one guy we used that other time. He then seems to proclaim out again, I don't know ya, and I don't want business with ya. You best be leaving now. And then, from aboard the airship, it seems closer to where you are, Hesha, from underneath behind the black, you hear a much sharper and sterner voice. You won't be going anywhere, dwarf. As it looks like men make themselves known.
Just running my hand across the side of the ship, marveling at it a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, wonderful. See men start popping out.
They seem to have been hiding behind the wood of the rigging of this ship, waiting. And as they pop out, swords drawn at the ready, the captain seems to turn to the one closest to him. I did my best. Not good enough, as he seems to just cut him down. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Get cut down.
He brought the pain onto him.
Oh yeah.
Backstabs back. All right.
Look at these motherfuckers.
Time to punch him.
Well, that's good. If he's dead, then that means I just jump one way and then a nice little yep. We come back next session. One's over here. One's over there. Somehow there's one in the cow. He just jumps out of his stomach.
There's the long con. I got you.
We did a roll for initiative anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true. That's true. I'll roll by that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
As that is the end of the city of Caelumvale for this week.
Yay.
Forever.
Nice.
Nice. That was fun. That was great.
Good shit, Jordan.
Initiative roll.
Well, that's nice. I'm gonna have you roll initiative again. Seems that there has been a betrayal somewhere in the organization.
Fucking rats.
God damn it, Cricket.
Heckin' rat.
Should have punched him.
All right. Well, I hope you are eagerly excited as I am to see what happens next week with whoever it is that is ambushing our pennymen, not quite heroes. And we will be back with more of the City of Caelumvale next Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, as always, along with Song of Rapture this Friday at 7:30 Eastern.
Oh yeah! Fucking Clyde's back, bitches!
Featuring the one and only, the true, the unfiltered, the unrestrained True Clyde, not the faux Clyde
True
played
Clyde.
by John.
The true Clyde.
And Omen. Along with, I believe, assuming everything goes according to plan and, the force field that we built around Brendan's house stays intact, we'll have a game this Sunday at 5, once he gets the power back on.
So go buy a generator, damn it, and
just for D&D.
buy a satellite dish.
The generator will give me internet.
Yeah, it's like
No, that's what the satellite dish is for.
Well, you just have to have the power for the router. Unless you're saying you're just gonna
but the router needs to be plugged into like an Ethernet that goes out to either a tower or something else.
But I don't get Wi-Fi directly to my router. I can make a hotspot if the Wi-Fi is still up.
Well, your router is plugged into your modem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that should just be coax, okay? Okay, we'll handle this after the fact. Anyway,
Not my fucking generator.
I know, obviously. I got a UPC for the stream because it'll keep the power going to the router, and then the box that gives us service is not connected to the same electricity that the house is connected to. So I don't know. All of that to say, hopefully we'll have a game on Sunday as Brendan and Peter are, unfortunately, it seems, in the strike zone of Hurricane Florence. So our thoughts and prayers are with them to stay safe and not have any adverse things happen to them. Because
Never trust a guy named Florence.
What's a girl's
That was
name?
a girl's name, yeah.
Yeah.
They named her.
That's why you don't trust a guy named Florence.
That's true, yeah.
That's true.
I have a really good friend named Florence, but she's a woman, so. I was like, wait.
Don't trust her either.
No, she's awesome.
Just really don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Everyone watching the stream, just keep in mind.
I love you,
Never
Vax.
trust
You're
anyone.
awesome. Don't listen to them. You're great.
there's a rat somewhere. Just saying.
There's always a rat.
Fire
Sorry,
Legend,
no,
thank you
I-
for sending positive thoughts
I can't
and liking.
people because you have poor judgment.
Streamline
yeah.
Design, thank you for following. And, as always, you know, this wouldn't be possible without you guys being here, or at least the stream part of it is. I am fairly certain, 99.9% certain, that Twitch or otherwise, we would still be playing D and fucking D, because it's one of the best games, period.
And we're playing it with good buddies.
Indeed.
That's true.
Yeah, I think what makes it good is players and the DM.
You know, except that fucking guy, but we won't play.
Excluding me, I just make
we only talk about him off.
I make it garbage.
That's true.
Yeah. But you know, there was definitely some enjoyment that was brought by his presence. So that's why, you know. Say la vie. Anyway.
Yep.
That's it.
What do you mean?
We're done.
What are you guys talking about?
That's all that there is for the city of Caelumvale. Ignore all this extraneous nonsense. Like I said, we will be back with more of this and seeing what happens with the Pennyman next Wednesday. We'll be back this Friday for Song of Rapture, 7:30, and we will hopefully be back for The Expanse as we figure out what our next step is in the realm of Shadow after defeating and then butchering one of Tia's champions, a fallen silver dragon.
What do you mean butchered?
I might have to do like
her
a
head is a
recap.
trophy
I might
for
do a long-
Ivar.
I might have to do a long recap for Sunday's game. I think it's this.
It was Bahamut's champion. She was just on loan to Torm.
Yeah.
He didn't have his canonical giant gold dragon with him either.
Nah.
So this is why Torm lost. He didn't have his gold dragon.
Well, I mean, he didn't have Lannister, so.
That's true. If we had Lannister, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to share the lore on my game that has the picture of him riding his goofy ass looking gold dragon.
Oh, that beautiful 3.5 art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Well, as always, thank you all so much for watching, and of course, you know, dice roll 20s, and you always make your saves.
Video.